Modern buildings are supposed to protect us, but many of them are quietly working against us. Flat roofs collapsing under snow, spaces that block light instead of letting it in, designs that ignore the very environment they're built in. This isn't bad luck, it's bad architecture. Today, buildings are created like assembly lines, fragmented, disconnected, optimized for speed, not for people. But 2,000 years ago, one Roman engineer already solved this problem. His name was Vitruvius, and he didn't just design buildings, he created a system, a blueprint for how architecture should actually work. A system we've almost completely forgotten. In this video, we're going to break down the 3 principles that built an empire and explain why ignoring them is the reason modern spaces feel so wrong.
Have you noticed how many modern buildings seem to be at war with their own environments? You'll see flat roofs slapped onto apartment complexes in snowy northern climates, or concrete support pillars dropped directly in front of the only window in the living room. This happens because modern construction operates like a fractured assembly line. The firm designing the facade rarely talks to structural engineers laying out floor plans. No single person oversees how the pieces interact, and the buildings end up cracking under the weight of their own disjointed complexity. The ancient Romans operated differently. They relied on the architectus, a master builder who viewed construction as a single unified discipline, combining civil engineering, art, and natural science into one holistic vision. We have largely forgotten how to design spaces that actually serve humanity, but the instructions for fixing our built environment survive inside a 2,000-year-old manuscript. Marcus Vitruvius Pollio built his career as a pragmatic military engineer and artilleryman for Julius Caesar. After his military service, he set out to standardize Roman building practices. He wrote a massive treatise called De Architectura for Emperor Augustus, intending to provide a definitive guide to constructing a lasting empire. Inside this text, Vitruvius lays out a 3-part universal standard for evaluating any structure. Today, we call it the Vitruvian Triad. These 3 pillars provide a framework to evaluate the success of a building, defining its quality through specific, interconnected requirements. The first pillar is frummitas, or strength. Vitruvius approached structural stability through the lens of a man who designed military siege weapons, like the heavy Roman ballista. He applied this destructive testing mindset to static buildings. A structure had to be engineered from the ground up to endure extreme physical loads and the harshest climate conditions its location could throw at it. To guarantee this resilience, he cataloged specific building materials. He detailed how elements like volcanic Roman concrete and dense travertine limestone would react physically and chemically to local moisture and heat over centuries. Real durability requires the deliberate design of a structure to cooperate with, rather than fight against, the raw forces of nature. The second pillar is utilitas, meaning utility or function. Vitruvius strictly argued that architectural form fails completely if it does not protect human health and serve a practical purpose. He applied this rule at the macro level of city planning. He mapped out how to orient entire street grids to block stagnant, disease-carrying winds blowing in from nearby marshes. This focus on public utility scaled up to massive civil infrastructure. He outlined the exacting surveying methods required to build sprawling aqueducts, maintaining a precise gradient to deliver fresh water across valleys and mountains. On a domestic scale, he detailed technology like the hypocaust. This early central heating system used channels of stacked brick to pull fire-heated air beneath the floors and through the walls of Roman homes and baths. True utility proves that a building operates as a living machine. Its primary job is to actively improve the physiological well-being of the people living inside it. The final pillar is venustas, or beauty, a concept Vitruvius treated with the same mathematical rigor as his engineering projects. Vitruvius held the belief that true architectural beauty could only be achieved through the strict imitation of nature. The human body's mathematical proportions are the template for design. He argued these natural dimensions should govern the geometry of every structure. Therefore, a master builder had to study medicine, astronomy, and music to capture these anatomical harmonies and lock them into stone. Beauty, then, is the mathematical harmony achieved when the human occupant is perfectly scaled to the vastness of the natural universe. After the fall of Rome, this comprehensive manual remained lost for centuries, before being rediscovered in a Swiss Abbey library in 1414. As printing presses spread this newly recovered Roman text across Europe, its diagrams and principles triggered the architectural explosion we now call the Renaissance. When Leonardo da Vinci sat down to read Vitruvius's specific passages on human proportions, he attempted to draw the exact measurements the ancient engineer described. The result was his iconic Vitruvian Man. The Renaissance was driven by a return to this ancient framework, as architects resurrected human-centric, mathematically harmonious design. Compare that enduring legacy to the isolated, fractured buildings of the modern era. Today, construction prioritizes rapid, standardized production over human scale. We have largely abandoned the triad. As a result, we live and work in structures that alienate their occupants and actively fight the natural environments they sit in. Vitruvius demonstrated that architecture is the mother of all arts. It requires us to synthesize science, art, and the laws of nature into a single cohesive vision. When we hold our structures to the Vitruvian standard, we do not just stack boxes to keep the rain out. We engineer spaces that elevate the human condition.
If you value knowledge, show your support. Like this video and subscribe so more minds can discover the principles that built civilizations.
Have questions or wish to challenge these ideas? Leave them in the comments. True understanding is built through dialogue.